The alleged secret marriage between Aaron Pierre and his cousin didn't just appear out of thin air, it detonated like a bomb that no one had braced themselves for. It was one of those stories that sounded so bizarre at first that people thought it had to be fake. Social media is flooded with outrageous claims every day, and most vanish before they even take root. But this one had weight. It spread differently, not just as gossip, but as something whispered about by insiders, hinted at by relatives, and pieced together by screenshots that people swore were authentic. What made it hit even harder was the fact that Aaron had always been known for being guarded about his personal life. He wasn't the kind of celebrity who jumped on Instagram, lived to share his feelings, or posted every moment of his day. That privacy gave him an aura of mystery, a reputation for being grounded in an industry full of chaos. But now, that very privacy seemed suspicious. Had he been hiding this secret all along? Fans couldn't shake the thought that while Teyana Taylor and the rest of the world believed one story, Aaron had been living another reality entirely, one that no one was supposed to uncover. The whispers began small, almost too faint to notice. A few fan pages posted screenshots of alleged DMs claiming Aaron had been spotted at a private event with someone that people later discovered was his cousin. At first, no one connected the dots. It was brushed off as just another dinner, maybe a family gathering. But then, a blurry photo surfaced that seemed to capture more than just relatives catching up. The way Aaron held her hand, the closeness in their body language, it was the kind of gesture you don't usually see between cousins. People zoomed in, analyzed every angle, and started threads debating what the photo really showed. Some laughed it off, calling it a reach. Others weren't so quick to dismiss it, saying that Hollywood has a long history of hiding secrets in plain sight. And just when the chatter was beginning to quiet down, an anonymous account dropped what they claimed were leaked messages from inside Aaron's own family group chat. The messages spoke of a small, private ceremony, hushed conversations about keeping it quiet, and the fear of it reaching the public. That was the spark that turned whispers into flames, and suddenly everyone wanted answers. As the rumors spread, fans found themselves divided. Half of them couldn't believe Aaron would do something like this, clinging to the image they had of him as a serious, respectable actor who seemed uninterested in scandal. They argued that the internet thrives on tearing people down, and that this was just another cruel attempt to tarnish someone's reputation. But the other half looked at the evidence piling up, the photos, the alleged messages, the strange silence from Aaron himself, and they began to think the unthinkable. Could it really be true? Was he actually married to his cousin? And if he was, why would he do it? The disbelief turned into a kind of morbid curiosity, with people digging deeper, scouring every photo, every past interview, every trace of his online presence for clues. Suddenly, moments that once seemed innocent, family vacations, candid pictures, even casual comments, were being re-examined under a new, suspicious light. One of the strangest parts of this entire situation was how unprepared fans were for such a revelation. Unlike other celebrities who live their lives out loud, Aaron had always been a closed book. That meant there was no warning, no gradual build-up that might have hinted something unusual was happening in his private world. Instead, it hit like a lightning strike on a clear day, leaving people dazed and scrambling to make sense of it. Many said the shock came not just from the idea of him marrying his cousin, but from the way it betrayed the image they had of him. Fans often convince themselves they know their favorite stars because of the characters they play or the interviews they give. Aaron had seemed thoughtful, disciplined, almost untouchable when it came to messy drama. And now, in the blink of an eye, that illusion was shattered. For Teyana Taylor, who had been tied to him romantically, the sting was even sharper. While fans were questioning their loyalty to Aaron, Teyana was facing the reality that the man she thought she knew might have been keeping the most damaging secret of all. The disbelief quickly turned into debates across every corner of the internet. Was this real? Or just another Hollywood rumor gone viral? People pointed to past scandals where celebrities were accused of things that turned out to be completely false. They brought up how easy it is to fake screenshots, to stage photos, to spread lies that catch fire before anyone has the chance to verify them. But on the other side of the argument were those who said the silence spoke volumes. Aaron hadn't denied it. His team hadn't issued a statement. Teyana hadn't said a word in his defense. To many, that lack of pushback felt like confirmation. Like they were watching a scandal being carefully ignored in the hopes it would blow over. But instead of dying down, it only grew louder. Fan pages multiplied, hashtags trended, and news outlets began to pick up the story. What started as a rumor was now being treated as something that could not be dismissed. Part of what made this so difficult for fans to process was how personal it felt. Normally, celebrity scandals revolve around cheating, feuds, or money, but this touched on something much deeper: family. People couldn't wrap their heads around the idea of a marriage like this, and it forced them to question not just Aaron's choices but the values of the family around him. Who would allow such a thing to happen? Did his relatives know? Did they approve? Was it hidden out of shame, or embraced as some twisted kind of tradition? Each new theory only added more fuel to the fire, and fans were caught between wanting the truth and dreading what it might reveal. For Teyana's supporters, the heartbreak was the central focus. For Aaron's critics, the scandal itself was all they could talk about. And for the rest of the world, it was the mystery how something so shocking could be happening right under everyone's nose without anyone realizing until now. When Aaron Pierre and Teyana Taylor were first publicly linked, it felt like one of those unexpected Hollywood pairings that immediately sparks curiosity and excitement. At first, people weren't sure what to make of it. Aaron was known as the quiet, private type, someone who kept his head down and focused on his work, while Teyana had long been admired for her bold, unfiltered personality and her larger-than-life presence both on and off stage. She was no stranger to the spotlight, and she carried herself with the confidence of someone who had fought for her place in the industry and refused to let anyone dim her shine. The two of them together seemed almost like opposites colliding. But that contrast only made the chemistry more magnetic. Fans loved the idea of Teyana's fiery energy softening Aaron's quiet mystery, and before long, their photos began flooding timelines everywhere. It wasn't just the smiles or the way they looked at each other, it was the captions. Bold, unapologetic captions that told the world they weren't hiding anything. Whether it was playful hints, subtle declarations of love, or cryptic phrases that left people guessing, every post fueled the belief that this was something real, something worth rooting for. The more the world saw of Aaron and Teyana, the more invested fans became. They weren't just another celebrity couple thrown together for clout or headlines. They looked genuine. Their body language told a story of its own, and even in the smallest interactions, holding hands on a late-night walk, sharing private jokes during interviews, or showing up to events with coordinated outfits, there was an authenticity that people couldn't deny. For Teyana, who had been through so much publicly in her past relationships, this felt like a new chapter. After her marriage with Aaron Schumpert began to unravel under the weight of rumors and complications, fans were eager to see her find happiness again. They wanted to believe she had moved on, that she had finally found someone who wouldn't betray her or make her feel like she had to fight for loyalty. Aaron, with his quiet nature and seemingly drama-free life, appeared to be that safe place. And for Aaron, being connected to someone as vibrant and adored as Teyana gave him a new layer of visibility, a chance to step into a spotlight he had mostly avoided up until then. Of course, like with any high-profile relationship, not everything was perfect. From the very beginning, there were whispers that Teyana hadn't fully let go of her past with Aaron. Some fans claimed they saw signs in her posts, subtle references that suggested she was still emotionally tied to the man she once called her husband. Others believed Aaron was simply a rebound, a distraction from the heartbreak she was still processing. Those rumors